Welcome to the Black Sheep Show. I am the creator and host, Amanda, and it feels damn good to be back. As you guys can see, I have a new set because 2021, we going up. I'm taking this brand to the next level. I'm talking clothes, shows, mini movies, you name it. But I'm excited about today's show because I am joined by some awesome women. So I have Jenny, Robin, and Kesh. And I'm just going to open up the floor for them to introduce themselves to you guys. We can start with Jenny.
Well, I'm Jenny. You can follow me on Instagram at TheBlvkSheep and Twitter.
Robin, and you can follow me, don't follow me on Twitter, but you can follow me on Instagram at RobinWannabeFly.
I'm Kesh, and you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at _LizPer.
So, Valentine's Day was last week, and before we get into anything, how was you guys' Valentine's Day?
It was amazing, actually.
I had a pretty good Valentine's Day.
I'm on like a 5-year Valentine's Day streak, so
Okay, that's dope.
that's so I don't set myself up for disappointment.
That's something.
Because what I niggas? Disappointments.
And it seems like everyone had a pretty good holiday except for Sukihana, who is a prominent figure on social media. If you're not familiar with her, she's prominent due to her rap career and also her OnlyFans profile, in which she engages in sexual activities with her fiance. According to her, this is a fiance that she held down while he was in prison, paid for the lawyers and whatever it takes to hold someone down while they're doing time. She did that for him. And Valentine's Day, like we just discussed, was last week. And what he got her for Valentine's Day was an edible arrangement.
That's it? That's all you got?
That's all he got her.
Okay.
Suki, I'm just gonna call her Suki. Suki was apparently and obviously upset. She went to social media to vent about it. Was upset and disappointed with her gift. My question to you, ladies, is an edible arrangement not a suffice gift for Valentine's Day?
No, because we're not kids. You can send me an edible arrangement like at work, just I'm thinking about you or whatever. But like Valentine's Day, you're supposed to go all out. I don't give a fuck if you every day is Valentine's Day. On Valentine's Day, where you're supposed to make me feel special, I want jewelry, I want money, I want a car, I want a bag, I want something. You're not gonna just send me some fruit and that's that. No, it's not. Nope. And she has every right to feel upset, especially if I help you down to jail. You're stupid.
I think an edible arrangement is suitable when that's all that you have money for. Suki's point, one of her points is that she knows how much money that he has, and he has more money to spend on her, which means he just did not want to. But I think we can tell, given the other details of their relationship, he doesn't have much money except for what she gives him or what is in relation to how much she makes. So obviously he could have done better. And he did better for the dog. And I'm like,
What did he do for the dog?
So the dog apparently has like a $2,000 chain, and the dog rides passenger seat in the Ferrari, and the dog apparently walks around the house and doesn't speak to Suki, and I'm pretty sure the house is Suki's. So there's like a lot of tension between Suki and the dog that is just like hilarious. But if Bill is poor, if he's poor, or he doesn't have a lot of money and an edible arrangement is all that he can afford, like who's to say that's not a suitable, like that probably is all the money that he has.
But I'm gonna refute your argument because you bought your dog a $2,000 chain. You bought your bitch, not your actual bitch. You bought the bitch a $2,000 chain. So it's not like you're lacking.
No.
And Bill told her that he only bought her the edible arrangement because Valentine's Day is for show, and
Right.
guys buy gifts on Valentine's Day to show that they're cheaters.
Right.
So
I didn't say that it was a suitable gift. I said it might have been a suitable gift for Bill because Bill is poor. But since Bill has money to spend on other things,
Right.
then he could have made more of an effort. But again, and this is my point to Suki and to other women, like, if he's never done anything before for you on any other day, what made you wake up and think that, like, oh, Valentine's Day is going to be so much different because it's Valentine's Day? What did he do for you for your birthday? What did he do for you for Christmas? What does he do for you, not to quote Joanna Man, but because it's Wednesday? Like, if he ain't never did nothing else special for you, if he never made you feel no other type of way or done everything, if he's never going out his way to show you nothing, then what made you think, oh, I'm gonna wake up on Valentine's Day and today is just magically gonna be different? It just doesn't work like that. Like, you are engaged to the man and he never did shit. So that's
Well, I did see him do small gestures for her. Like when they got engaged, he bought her another engagement ring and proposed to her in front of her mom, because he said he didn't do it the proper way and he wanted to ask her mom for her hand in marriage. So he knows how to be sentimental. He decided not to be on the one day where you could have at least figured that a woman would have wanted you to be sentimental for her. He didn't do that. So it begs the question for me in my mind, what is he doing behind the scenes? Just being a bucket manipulator and taking all this woman's money?
I was like, that's a manipulation.
Exactly. It's like it's nothing else that he could be doing besides manipulating her. And for her to see it only on Valentine's Day is pretty sad. But she had to see it someday. I see that they're back together, sick, but no, I don't think an edible arrangement is a suitable gift for what he could have done to make her feel special on Valentine's Day. It's ridiculous.
Have y'all ever dealt with terrible gifts from men in general? Or have you guys dealt with guys that have been pretty good gift givers? Or
I usually say what I want. So if I want something, then that's just it. And if you don't come through on that end, then we don't really have anything else to talk about. But I also had to like grow into that. Because when like you're young, you tend to just take a lot of shit, or like you think that men should figure shit out, and you really do have to learn for yourself quickly that men don't know shit. So like if you kind of don't make things obvious or you don't put your foot down about things, they will try you. And they're going to try you just because it's Tuesday. So that's my experience.
I haven't really dealt with any terrible gift givers. I always dealt with men who give really nice gifts. They just give me what. No. They just give me what they want to give me.
Yeah, and that's also a problem.
And they're nice gifts, but this is something that you thought I would like, not what I would actually like.
Right.
So.
It was one person, and I just had to tell him that I'm very materialistic, and it's not gonna work if you don't buy me nothing. And it ain't work, so.
moving on to Lori Harvey and Michael B. Jordan's Valentine's Day, which he rented out the aquarium, bought her stocks in Hermes, and
Which is also a stupid gift if we want to be honest.
why is it stupid gift?
What the fuck am I gonna do with the fucking Hermes stock? Like, what the fuck do I know about Hermes stock? Who cares?
It's gonna make her money.
Does she really need to, like, is that something that I'm really passionate about, I'm really into? Like, Kesh just said, like, is that something that I want? Like, in all actuality, do you want a stock in Hermes or no? Or do you want a bag?
Give me the bag, man.
I ain't gonna lie, I thought it was kind of stupid.
It's kind of stupid.
It was a flex. It was like, I could do that.
Literally. Yeah, it was a
that's
flex.
what it was.
And for me, a flex is like, you do that shit.
But that's what Valentine's Day has to become. Low key.
Because of social media.
Of social media.
Sure.
Instagram. I mean, I don't want to say that Valentine's Day doesn't matter or that it's lost its sentimental value, but I do feel like some of the posts and the things that are posted on Valentine's Day is geared towards look what I did, more so than look how much I love my significant other.
And I'm not totally mad at that. I don't hate that. I don't hate it. I don't hate
Cause show out.
Yeah, show out. Like, that's exactly, and I'm the type of person, it depends, I guess, on your love language or how you like to be loved. Like, yeah, love me out loud, express that shit. But also, express the shit in a way that is not fucking corny. Like, Hermes stock is corny. It's corny as fuck.
But it's also like, how many Hermes bags does she have? Like, she got mad Birkins.
That's the point.
So it's like,
I don't know, a nigga give me stock and I'll be like,
Oh, that's cute.
so let's say
what's my supposed to do with that, bro? You giving me more work? That's what it sounds like to to me, you giving me more to do.
Right.
No, what if a nigga gives you just straight cash?
I'll take that.
Thanks.
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 I'm fine with that.
See,
You feel like there's not no thought behind it.
of course I feel that way, but it needs to be a right amount of cash if that's what you're giving me
Absolutely.
as a gift. So my
Absolutely.
birthday was January 5th, and this guy gave me money for my birthday, but well, I don't throw out no numbers, but it wasn't enough for you to just give me money for my birthday. Like,
Does he know that's not enough for you?
he absolutely knows that it's not enough for me. So
I don't feel like you probably was thinking like she got everything or she can get whatever she wants.
No,
What
don't
kind
ever
of
give
gift?
her.
bitch, I don't have everything.
I'm just saying, like, if you don't know what to get somebody, give me money. I'm never.
I've never turned it
No,
down.
I'm not turning it down. It's just like,
But you would have wanted more. You would have
just
thought there was more thought behind it.
yeah, I would have.
But is that an expectation that was set? That he should have known?
No,
more?
because we not like that, but
They're gonna disappoint her.
Right, and then
You
I
know?
always thought, listen, I always take money, honestly. Anytime, I'm always taking the money. Because it's certain things that I'm gonna buy that I'm not even gonna want to tell you that I'm gonna want to buy it. I just see it and I want to buy. I'm an impulsive buyer. However, I'm always gonna throw a ballpark number out there a lot higher than what I want. So we gonna talk about it because my birthday coming up. So we gonna talk about, okay, yeah, my birthday coming up. What you getting? Oh, okay, yeah, I want this amount, way higher than I actually want. So when you do throw me something lower than what you're supposed to, I'm gonna be alright. Because I told you a lot higher.
Shoot for the moon, land on the star.
Hello.
so speaking of Lori Harvey, why is it that Lori Harvey is seen as a hoe? I mean, we know why. We don't have to say why this she's seen as a, but it's just so crazy to me that Lori Harvey is doing what people in their 20s do. People who are in 20s should be doing, that don't have kids, that are rich, that are just living life like. And when you compare it to her male counterparts who are also in their 20s with no kids, rich and living life, like they're not being called like hoes, or like their value as a human is not being like their value is not being diminished. So I want to know, like, what do you got? What's your take? What's you guys' take on that? Or what contributes to Lori?
I feel like Lori's doing what she's supposed to be doing. She's wealthy, she's beautiful. She having her way with these niggas, and men just cannot take when a woman lives in who she is and she's not trying to be prim and proper. Like, niggas don't say nothing about Future. Future's a serial dater, and he got 25 kids, and he don't take care of none of them. But niggas love him. Like, he dates women that are 19, 20 years old. This man is 37. That's disgusting. Like, I don't understand the criticism of Lori, and then niggas will be like, well, I want to date Lori.
You absolutely wouldn't.
Do not have a chance.
She wouldn't date you.
Like, for Boosie to get on the internet and say,
Oh,
you would
yeah.
not date her? I don't even think she would kiss you with her butt. So, I'm trying to figure it out. Like, you don't have a chance on her. And given the fact that you think you have a chance on her, and you're going to say no to that chance, Boosie, please. Like, it be a lot with it. Just like, I don't see her as a hoe. I feel like she's doing what she's supposed to be doing. She's in her early 20s. Have fun.
Right, and it wouldn't. It's not like she's dating, like literally dating. So it's not like, even if she was just fucking around, I mean, she can do that, but she's not doing that either. So it's just like,
Niggas don't even know what she doesn't speak. Like,
right.
Even if you go on her Instagram, she doesn't even write captions. Like, unless it's a paid advertisement, she does not write captions. The girl don't talk. So I don't really understand, like, it's so much the girl literally just posts her pictures and goes on her business.
That's it. All you gonna get is these looks.
Men will not have a bed to sleep in, a house to call home, food on the table. They will always have fucking audacity. Like, that is the reality of that situation. And so they cannot take that a woman wants to do anything like that is not male centered or male focused or male driven, or like, she hasn't told us, like you said, she don't speak. So she ain't told us she want to be a wife or she want to be somebody's mama or like whatever. The bitch is literally just like doing what the fuck it is that she wants to do. And the fact that there's not a man kind of in the background playing like puppet master or like orchestrating it or controlling it. Like, niggas got a problem with that. They don't like to see that shit. They don't like to. Niggas don't like to see women happy. That's what the fuck that shit comes down to.
That's what it all boils down to.
That's what it all boils down to. They want to see you, women, niggas want to see you like depressed and sad and lonely because you ain't got no man and you ain't got no kids and like, no, not in this day and age, nigga. It's 2021. I'm not doing that.
Exactly. And I also feel like what Boosie was trying to do is to unite men all together to hate her.
Yeah.
He wants them to hate her so bad so that other women don't have a chance to flourish in life because these men hate women.
Right.
And he doesn't want men to, like her. Or he doesn't want her to have any more suitors. Or he wants men to feel embarrassed. And at the end of the day, once Boosie closed his mouth, there were still 10 other men behind Michael B. Jordan that still wants to be with Lori Harvey. And she's gonna always have options. You're mad because she has options and she's still doing what she wants to do.
Exactly.
It's never gonna end. Get over it.
But it's like, Boosie, you got 10 kids.
Die. Just die. Like,
You're ugly,
shit.
She got yellow eyes.
I get so fucking sick of Boosie. Like,
Diabetes.
literally.
But it's not just Boosie. It's just the people who follow Boosie or people who reposted it or felt like, oh, this is a word or women need to be this way or need to be that way. Hold a man down. How you was talking about, oh, all these women should hold men down. So you want a woman to hold down a man through all his shit, all his kids, all his cheating, all his being broke, all his whatever. But this woman, she ain't out here chasing men for money because she got her own. She ain't out here looking for stability because she could create it herself. She's a brand within herself. What more do you want for her to be? It's nothing that's going to appease men because men don't really care to have that woman to appease them. They just want to tear women down so all of them feel the same so they just could have this same cycle repeat itself.
Right. Niggas say they want a woman to bring stuff to the invisible table. But it's like when you come as that, they want to try their best to break you down.
Yeah.
Ask them where they put the table. You think it's homeless. You think it's homeless, then delusional and poor. So,
No, facts. Nigga ask me what I bring to the table, I don't bring nothing. I have nothing to offer you.
I agree just exist.
I have nothing.
That is it. That is absolutely it. And I don't know, like, as a woman, you gotta understand, like, these niggas gonna call you a hoe for nothing.
Literally.
Like, they call you a hoe for being there, or for being around, or like, whatever. Like, whatever arbitrary reason they come up with today, like, you're gonna be a hoe. So, trying to fit into this, like, little box, or this standard of what a woman should be, and what a woman should have, and what a woman should offer, you can suck my dick, in all actuality.
Are you religious?
Me?
Yes.
Some days.
Okay. Because I feel like that viewpoint would not be the viewpoint of a religious woman.
It ain't.
Which is why I asked.
I am religious on some, like, if you ask me to repeat certain Bible verses, and I'll bring that up, absolutely. I pray once in a blue moon. Like, I grew up in the church, but I don't subscribe to that shit because I want to be free. Like, I want to live my life, and I want to breathe. That's too many, like, it's too much rules and too much shit that has to go into me following some doctrine of some man that may or may not have existed how many ever fucking years ago, and people that didn't have a cell phone or could barely read or could whatever. Like, why the fuck would I follow behind that shit today, now in my life?
Also, to touch on that point, it's like women, and he was saying, like, women are praising Lori Harvey for being a hoe, basically. But so many women are praising her because so many women wish they could be her.
Yeah.
So many women wish they could do this when in all actuality they can, but they're following religious views or
Patriarchy,
exactly,
or whatever the fuck. Like, and I do think a lot of older women, which is all, it's kind of corny, but like, I get why. Like, you look back at your life at 30-something, 40-something, 50-something, and you think about all the shit you did for men and all the men you ran behind because you wanted to live up to like some standard or some shit that you would just never want to reach because the shit's fucking impossible. And so you see this girl that is like, okay, she's kind of going against her own rules and doing all the shit that like you probably should have, would have, could have done, where you're not following whatever. So I do think a lot of women, it's not necessarily praise, but it's like, you go when go.
Are you a religious woman? Does your religion sometimes contradict your feelings of being a strong quotation independent like woman?
I wouldn't say I'm really religious. I'm more spiritual than anything. I grew up in the church. My family is super duper religious.
I was saying, I've been to church with y'all.
Hello? We are very, very religious. Me, myself, I couldn't tell you the last time I went to church pre-COVID. Like, but I can watch church on TV. I mean, you know what I'm saying? But no, like, if anything, I'm living against what they talk about. Like, I'm not married. I don't see myself getting married no time soon. I don't want to get married no time soon. I mean, everything that my mama thinks is what I should be doing, girl, it ain't happening. So, so no, I'm not really religious.
B.Simone's Manifesting Love rant, that kind of ties into the views of patriarchy and what women feel like they need to be in order to attract a man. I feel like B.Simone's rant, basically she was just saying like, women have these demands of what they want men to be, have money, not have money, but have a job, have stability, be nice, be kind, like normal things, just be like a decent human being. She was saying women's demands, she called it demands, women's demands, I think of it as standards. Women's demands aren't matching what women themselves are. And personally, I just feel like that's an internalized misogynistic viewpoint, just because women are constantly like lowering their standards, are constantly like fucking with niggas that they really shouldn't be fucking with. So I just want to, you guys can jump in on your thoughts on her rant.
Okay, so her rant, what she was saying wasn't really bad. It's just not what you say, it's how you say it. So I think like she was saying, you gotta be equally yoked and stuff like that.
Right.
My thing would be Simone, she's very, very pick me. Like her whole brand is like, oh, I gotta be this for a man, and if I don't do this, I won't be a wife material, anything like that. And I'm just like, girl, like once you start pandering to men and putting women down, that's when you lose me. Because since your whole brand is women empowerment, so how are you now downplaying women and you're also trying to build women up at the same time? It's not making any sense. And B.Simone, she's a clown to me.
B.Simone, she's a literal bozo.
You know, anytime I see her in the media, it's for some clown shit. It's some shit like, oh, this is what you gotta do to keep a man, this is what you gotta do to get a man. It's just like, bitch, you got a whole beauty brand. Like, why are we not talking about that? Like, everything is centered around a man. And that's why she's kind of clown-like to me. And it's just like, girl, like, you know, bitch, there's other stuff out here for you to be talking about instead of that. Like,
and you have so much other shit allegedly going for you, and that you have going on, and that you are like interested and invested in, but all we talk about is niggas all day, and you still don't have one. So it's like, why in the fuck would I listen to anything that you have to say when you are not even in a fucking relationship? Like, as corny as I think it is, when people talk about like Sierra and Russell Prayer, I mean, they is together. So like, if you do got a man, that's probably the model that you should follow. Why would I follow behind a bitch with no man telling me how to get one? And you ain't got one.
She never had a man. She said she never had a boyfriend. So how you gonna tell people how to be in a relationship?
And you know, I just don't think that there's a way for you to talk about people being equally yoked or whatever, and you look at black women and all the things that black women are doing and accomplishing and having every day, and then talking about like we're bringing nothing to not these niggas.
Like, let's talk to actual statistics.
That black women are like the most educated.
The most educated.
Continue to be the breadwinners in the home, despite not receiving equal pay to like anybody in any type of minority, like whatever.
And then still have to come home, if you guys are married and have kids, still have to carry the load domestically.
So yeah, girl, I'm not, like, A+4 is equaling an orange right now, and so I just kind of have to remove myself out of the fucking conversation whenever it comes to anything that she has to say, because you're a fucking dummy. And you're sitting up here and you're pandering to these niggas that, like, at the end of the day, niggas will fuck you because, like, you have a vagina and you're light skinned and like whatever, and the man might even wife you up, but like long term, you also ain't offering shit. But like some ebooks
that she stole.
that you stole.
There's 10 pages.
Pimping women just have to understand that like you being picked or like chosen doesn't really mean anything in the grand scheme of things, because a man is not hard to find. I can go on the street right now and go get a man. Tia Mowry found her husband at a bus stop. So it's like
That's the MAGA? Or
no,
that's
Tamara's the MAGA.
Tamara's
Tamara's
Tia
the
the
MAGA.
black one. Okay.
Tia's the black one, but she did find a man at a bus stop, which Corey's cute, and Corey got a job here and there,
She
but
got that job, but she the breadwinner.
you know, but she found him at the bus stop. Like you can literally find a man like anywhere.
Facts.
You know, so like you being picked or married or in a relationship, like none of that is an accomplishment. It's not something that is hard to do. It's not something that like you should really wear as like a badge. Not, you know, wear it as a badge on, that's your business. But like don't put down other women for not subscribing to the same like facets of patriarchy that you do, because that's really all it is.
I'm glad that we discussed what it is to be a black woman, because that kind of provides a segue into the next conversation that I wanted to have with you guys. Obviously, all of us here are black women, though we're all different black women from different ethnicities, religions, everything else that separates us. We do share those two identities. And being that black women in the limelight, i.e. Rihanna and Beyonce, Rihanna most recently became the first black woman to have a brand be valued at $1 billion, right? No?
I think it was Pat McGrath.
$1 billion?
As far as cosmetics,
Yeah.
but Rihanna's is for
For lingerie,
Okay.
right, lingerie. I left that detail out. And then Beyonce is doing her thing with the Ivy Park, Icy Park clothing empire that she's building. And I wanted to know what effect, if any, does that have on you guys as black women?
You know Beyonce is my girl. So, baby, I feel like it's just so dope seeing women that look like us doing dope ass shit on a scale that has never been done before. Like Beyonce herself is just a force, and Rihanna too. And like Ivy Park came, and it was like, okay, she's doing clothing. She did clothing before. She did House of Rihanna. I still got some sweatpants. I was like, okay, let me see what this is about to do. So this really took off, and it's just like, damn, like, you know, like, they're in spaces that were not for us. And just to see them, like, elevating and doing dope-ass shit at the level that they're, like, Beyonce and Rihanna are the two most famous women in the world. Black women. So I feel like this is the year of the black woman. 2020 was the year of the black woman as well. And it empowers me to just do some shit, too.
I definitely think that it's inspiring, to say the least.
I think that it says to little black girls that when you get the right access and when you get into the right rooms and you get to know the right people, you're able to do things for yourself. That doesn't necessarily, I think, speak for the collective of black people as a whole or black women as a whole, because we still have a lot of things as far as working class women or women that don't have access and privilege and money and resources. Like, there are still things on the ground level that have to be done that have nothing to do with.
Do you think that this opened doors, or does it break barriers? I'm asking you.
No.
Okay.
No, I don't. I think that it allows companies to say that they have broken barriers. It's like, oh yeah, well, we let Rihanna do this with her brand, and we let Beyonce do this with her brand. It's like, but it's Rihanna and Beyonce. Of course you let them. Like, at the end of the day, that makes you money. But it does nothing for me as a working class woman. It does nothing for the women that are in my socioeconomic class. It does nothing for a lot of the women that are working to manufacture these clothes and that are in other parts of the world that are necessarily that are working in standards that are less than livable and living in these conditions. And I guess in a way that's a lot of that is not Rihanna and Beyonce's problem, right? And that's not, we can't put the world problems at the feet of the two of them, because there are a lot of rich, white, powerful men that obviously have a lot more control. But I do think that we have to be careful at looking at individual accomplishments as something that speaks to all of us as, like, for the culture or for black women or like whatever. Like, yeah, they got a chance and they got access and they got to do things to help them live out their dreams, but like, you got the money to live your dreams out. It's not that black people or black women and little girls aren't dreaming. We ain't got no, we don't have no money. We ain't got no money. I ain't got no money.
They were already
To put into my dreams, exactly. Like, it's very, I think it's easy to let in these people that already are at this status and are at this whatever than it is to put money into somebody that is lesser known or doesn't have like a fan base or like whatever. And again, I have bought into both of their brands more than...
You got on Ivy Park shoes right now.
You ain't nobody say to point that out. But yes. And they are comfortable.
You
and they are comfortable with shit.
You got on Ivy Park, I got on Black Sheep.
Yeah.
Shameless plug.
You get what I'm trying to say? Like, and again, I'm going to support them because I like both of them, like whatever, but like ethically speaking, those two accomplishments don't really do anything for us, like, collectively.
It's true. It's definitely true. Like, I can't relate to Beyonce because the access is there. She's able to go into more rooms than I'm ever gonna be able to go into.
Yeah.
If it was a regular girl that like we knew from around the way that shit happened for her, then it's like, yeah, like
I was
can
still
do that
just
too.
as proud, right?
But you know, it's Beyonce and Rihanna.
Yeah.
It's inspiring, but it's like
exactly.
But that's where it falls. That's really where it begins and ends. Like, that's it. It's inspiring. Cool. I'll say, like, growing up, we saw, like, Brandy, right? And Brandy got to do a lot of shit. Brandy had a Barbie doll. Brandy had a show. She had Cinderella. Like, you know, whatever. I mean, I think Monica ain't had no doll. But, like, we saw, like, black women. Yeah, or no show.
Okay, but she won the verses.
Did she?
Who else had dolls? Somebody else had dolls. Was it Destiny Child?
it's
Somebody else had
sure
dolls.
they had a dog.
They had exactly.
It was in their bleaching outfits. I had it.
So we got to see when we were younger, we did get to see black women kind of step into like new space or whatever. But even then, it's like, all right, well, like Brandy got all of that because it's Brandy and she Moesha and like, you know, whatever. But so I think it's nice in that way for like little girls now to be like, okay, well, I can be Rihanna and I can be Beyonce, and when I get to that level, I can do that.
Okay. Sure. Moving on to Judas and the Black Messiah, the movie that kind of covered the life of Fred Hampton and his involvement with the Black Panthers in the Chicago chapter back in the 60s. How do you guys feel about the movie? I know, Keshana, when I asked you to watch the movie, you were very reluctant. You didn't want to watch it. Why didn't you want to see it?
I didn't want to see it because I felt like it was going to be a trigger for me. A lot of movies portraying black revolutionary figures always trigger me, and it makes me sad. It makes me angry. It makes me want to just go to the street and march. And being that I haven't really grasped the concept of how to do that just yet, I don't want to just be enraged in my house for no reason. I want to channel it and do something for real. So I was kind of reluctant to watch it for that reason.
Understandable. How do you guys feel about Hollywood, like Keshana said, portraying black revolutionary figures? I mean, she gave her opinion about it. It often triggers her and makes her feel mad without a way to channel it. When you watch movies with like gore or anything, what you should take away?
Hollywood shouldn't, but at the same time, like, Hollywood is the only way that a lot of people are willing to listen and to hear a story, even if it's the wrong one or it's told from like the wrong side. I think that as the general public, like, we have to take things for what it is. It's entertainment. It's supposed to be entertaining. It is supposed to not necessarily inform. Like, you know, you are supposed to think that it was good and that the actors did a good portrayal and like whatever. And that kind of what is Hollywood's job for it to like start and end, basically. I think that it is more important, especially with people like the Panthers, with Kwame, with Angela Davis, with a lot of these black revolutionaries, that like they were here in a time where like the media was present. They were able to get on video. They were able to do interviews. They were able to do all these things. So that is more important than whatever story is going on in Hollywood. Like we can go Google the interviews and we can see what they have to say or whatever in real time. I don't think that people should not see it. I like the movie. But Hollywood is going to give you the version that is not necessarily going to make you enraged, or is going to make you as enraged as it is, like, oh, these white people fucked up, and then you go on about the rest of your day, but not to actually get out in the streets and like do anything. Like the movie focused on William O'Neill for a reason and not Fred Hampton. Because if it really talked about Fred Hampton's life in its entirety and the work of the Black Panthers in the entirety, then like yeah, niggas might have got riled up and like took to the streets or whatever for at least a day, for at least a day or a week or whatever. Even if it was like momentary anger, it would have been anger. But it is easier to put the onus and the guilt on William O'Neill as one character versus like the work of the FBI and the system that prompted William O'Neill to carry out his betrayal of Fred Hampton and the Panthers. So.
Yeah, I think Black Hollywood does owe it to us, well not us, but to the kids, because that history isn't taught in school.
No.
And even though it's a watered down version, you still got to go back, like as a parent, and say like, this is what they did, but I'm gonna show you what they really did.
Right.
And like even after I watched it with my little cousins, and I purposely did that. And after that, we watched like a bunch of documentaries.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, do we need that in media? Yes, we do, because the kids need to know what's going on. When I was in high school or middle school, Black history, they didn't teach us about Fred Hampton.
No.
The extent of Black history was Martin Luther King, and they watered him down to make him this like figure of peace for Black people when white people do what's wrong. And Malcolm X, they villainized him. So as far as the kids go, like they definitely need it. They need to see it. Yeah. And I think it needs to be told properly.
Yeah. Yeah. I definitely think that like Black figures deserve for their stories to be told properly. Number one, I just don't know if Hollywood is the correct avenue to do that, or if they are interested in doing that, to be very honest. And then you have a focus of a lot of people in Hollywood, Nick Cannon, I'm trying to think of who else or whatever, that's like, oh, we're going to focus on Dr. Sebi, and we're going to focus, and it's like, for fucking what? When you can really take the stories of people like Fred Hampton, you can take the stories of Fannie Lou Hamer. Like there are so many, Ida B. Wells. There are so many, even Kwame. Like I feel like Kwame to where like people.
Sure. I'm reading his autobiography.
Yeah, like there are so many actual factual Black people that did real work and made real change and had something real substantial to offer and to give to Black people and to their communities. But we want to focus on YouTube doctors. Yeah.
Dr. Umar.
Yeah, it's just like a lot of silliness. So it's like even when it does get to the Black people in Hollywood, they don't even take the time and the money and the resources that they have to tell the stories that should be told. So like I think a lot of work can be done in Hollywood. I don't think that Hollywood is interested.
Yeah. Right.
You know.
And like you guys already mentioned, like I think it's important, like you said, for the stories of Black revolutionaries to be told, and it has to be told by someone who actually cares about Black history.
Right.
Because you can always, movies are made about Black historical figures, but when they're made without care or without the respect towards our history and the revolutions or the revolutionary itself, you can see that. So like the movie, the Harriet Tubman movie that came out, and it was just all historically inaccurate. Not only was it historically inaccurate, it was just not even watered down, it was just like a cartoon of it diminished what slavery was, it diminished what Harriet Tubman actually, the magnitude of what she actually did. So, but then when we see this movie like Judas and the Messiah, like I went into the movie with low expectations. And not to say, I just was like, this is gonna be some shit that's gonna piss me off, like, because it's gonna water down Fred Hampton's message. It's gonna water down what the Black Panthers represented. And I want to say that I was actually kind of proven wrong. Because it didn't, like you said, it didn't focus on Fred Hampton and the Black Panthers at all. But it also didn't water down his message to make it diminished into like Black Panthers are like the Ku Klux, the black version of the Ku Klux Klan, or the Black Panthers were just like this angry, violent people. Like it did portray them as angry, which they were, which they are.
And that's fine.
We should. It's
fine.
Like
it's fine.
But it did portray Fred as a communist, socialist, for the people, radical individual, and I do appreciate the film for that, because as we know and as we see, Hollywood definitely doesn't do that often, especially in terms of Black radical figures.
I think overall it was an enjoyable film, and that is what films should be first and foremost. It should be enjoyable. You should be able to sit through it. I would have preferred someone else other than Daniel to play Fred Hampton, and not for any particular other reason other than he doesn't look like him. And then I would like for you to look a little bit like the person. I would like for you to sound like Chicago people are kind of country, but they not as country. Daniel sounded like he was literally
from Alabama,
backwoods Alabama. And I was like, dude, so I do feel like they could have chosen a better actor for him. But the film did not focus on him, and really the supporting actors made the film.
Right.
I'm gonna try not to stand too hard on Lakeith, even though I can all day. But Lakeith was amazing. Dominique Fishback was amazing.
I love her.
She was really good. Everybody in the film did a really, really good job. I don't feel like Daniel carried the role of Fred Hampton, but he didn't really need to. He's a supporting actor. So I feel like if you focus on the film as a film and not necessarily on the story of it, it's fine. Even if you focus on the story of it and like focus on that it was William O'Neill and it was his decision, then I think it's still fine, because what I went into the film thinking they were going to like victimize William, or like trivialize William O'Neill, right? And be like, oh, he was just a kid, he was scared, he was backed into a corner, and he didn't have a choice.
It was a well done film in that regard, and the scale that I grade Hollywood portrayals of like Black radical movements and Black radical people is if a kid sat and watched this, would they walk away with the wrong message?
Yeah.
And I don't think that a kid watching Judas and the Messiah would get the wrong impression about the Black Panthers. If anything, it might intrigue them to learn more about who the Black Panthers were.
I definitely agree, but when I watch movies like this, the thing that really triggers me is not more so the proper portrayal of the Black figures, because I don't really feel like they're gonna do it the right way. I feel like it's more so the whites that anger me the most, because no matter the film, no matter who they are portraying, the white people are always the same. Yeah. The message is always the same. They always do the same thing. And that is what angers me the most, because no matter if it was 1806 or 1960, their mindset, their message is always to harm us. And that is what really fuels me.
Just seeing it, that's what triggers you.
Right, because I don't really have many interactions with white people on a day-to-day basis, especially living in Miami. I mean, I see a lot of Hispanic people, but like seriously in my day-to-day, I don't see many.
You should be grateful for that, girl. Let me tell you.
That's true, because living in Miami, being around Spanish people is one thing. When I moved to Texas and I was around lily white crackers,
it's different.
It's like,
it's different.
Oh my God, like it was a culture shock for me, because like they're different.
And I think there were some points in the film that kind of meant to like humanize the FBI agents, like nigga, fuck
right.
You know, like
they always
they always gotta do that.
That is annoying. I don't give a fuck about your family. I don't give a fuck about like your babies or whatever, because like the Panthers are out here feeding kids and y'all have a problem with that. Like,
and it's just like, the Panthers, all they were doing was feeding kids, putting clinics in the hood, and the FBI decided that's too motherfucking much and hunted them down like dogs.
Yeah. But and I was watching a documentary over the summer, like when everybody was pretending to care about black people. It was on Amazon Prime, and it was basically showing, like, obviously they talked about the Panthers, but they also talked about like the Indian movement in America, and they talked about there was like a group of Latino Americans. Like every time the FBI senses any type of like uprising of revolution or liberation around people they infiltrate, they break it up, they kill niggas. That's it. Like there's nothing else. They don't give a fuck what the mission is. They don't give a fuck what you're doing. They're coming in, they're killing people, and that's it. You know, and I think that we have to realize, like, with that being the backing of the U.S. government and that being how this country feels, we're never going to get a proper portrayal of shit. Mm-hmm. We're never going to get a realistic viewing of who the U.S. government is, what the U.S. government does, what they're capable of. Like, we're not going to get that. Even media, like, I don't know, I feel like niggas love to talk about like Chinese propaganda and Korean propaganda and whatever. It's like, nigga, you are propagandized right the fuck here in America.
America is
you have to stand up
propagandist machine.
Yeah, you have to stand up in school every fucking day and say the Pledge of Allegiance. Nigga, what? Like from birth or from like whatever.
No, yeah, you know how sick that is.
It's sick.
Stand up every day. I pledge allegiance to the flag.
It's sick. And then you go to games and you do it, or you go to whatever national event or whatever, and they fucking do the shit. And then like. There's so much that we don't realize that it's propaganda, and so when we look at movies, it's like, yeah, I wanna praise it for even being brave enough to tell the story, but at the same time, I can only praise it for so much. I have to praise it for the acting and for the dialogue and for the script. I can't praise it for it being the truth.
But see, that's how propaganda works. And someone who recognizes what propaganda is, you're able to make that discerning decision of what you're going to view the movie as. But someone with a young mind, like a kid or an impressionable teen or a young adult, like they'll watch a movie and it'll be like, you know,
most adults.
Most adults.
There's a lot of adults.
Most
Yeah.
adults, because motherfuckers be stupid for
Stupid.
So I don't know. I mean, I can view a movie through that lens and, you know, recognize that it's propaganda and still probably enjoy it and know that it's propaganda or know that it's meant to be entertaining. But I try to, like I said, like the most thing when I watch these movies and these portrayals, like if a kid watches it, what the fuck is a kid walking away from this thinking? Like,
Yeah. But I also think that's why, like, and I kind of stress this to like my younger cousins and my brother, like reading is so fundamental. And like niggas be thinking I be joking, I do sometimes, like whatever, but like dead as you need to read people's own words, what they have to say for themselves, like who I thought Malcolm X was, or like whatever, even what you said, like what we get taught in school and what Malcolm had to say about himself on paper is completely different. It's completely.
Overall, I thought Judas and the Messiah was pretty good. How you felt about it, Keishana? Because I know, like you said, it still triggered you.
I think it was a really good movie. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the actors. I definitely agree with you about Daniel. I hated hearing him speak and then everybody else speak. It's like they're two different places.
Yeah, I don't know.
It wasn't no
Plain thick ass Daniel.
I ain't no director. He is thick.
Like
so
outside of
thick.
this, I think he's so cute.
Really?
Yeah.
Even with the hips.
He too big for me. He showed like big bitches though.